Alrighty, guys, so today we are going to have our second lesson on adding integers. And yesterday we used modeling. Today, what I want to look at is the rules for adding integers, okay? Remember, a math rule is something that happens in math every time you do a certain thing, okay? So every time you do whatever the rule says, it will work, okay? Because it's the rule. It has to work. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a math rule. Okay? So today we're going to learn some rules. So first of all, the first rule is adding numbers with same sign. The rule is, remember, for same sign, just add the numbers or the integers. Just add the numbers, not the signs. Don't worry about the signs. Add the numbers and keep the sign. Okay? Here's your example. Example 7 plus 3. If I add the two numbers, I get 10, and they're both positive, so it is a positive 10. Okay? A second example is negative 3 plus negative 7. I'm adding two negatives. So I just look at the number 3 and 7 and I add it and I get a 10, and then I keep the sign of both numbers. So it's negative 10. Okay? So that's the rule if they have the same sign. Just add the numbers and keep the sign. Okay? Now, what happens if we're adding numbers adding integers with different signs? Okay, the rule. Here's the rule. Use the absolute values then subtract the two numbers. Subtract the lower from the higher number. Then keep the sign from the higher number. Okay? All right, so what does that look like? Let's take a look at an example. I'm gonna use a really big example this time. Example. 37 plus negative 56. Okay, well, I know the absolute value of 37 is 37. And I know the absolute value of 56 is 56. So I'm going to take 56 and subtract 37 because I can't take, I can't subtract 56 from 37. Okay? And I'm going to come up with the answer 19. Now, I'm going to look at these two numbers. Which one's bigger? The 56. It has a negative, so that means my answer is negative. Okay. If I do another one, let's say I have, let's say I have -3 plus 7. Okay, well, I'm going to look at my absolute values. The absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value of 7 is 7. So I'm going to subtract 3 from 7, and I get 4. And then I look back at my problem. Which number has the higher number? It's the 7. 7 has a higher value. And so this is a +4. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a couple of examples to try using these rules. Okay. So here we go. 1, -2 plus 11. Number 2, 9 plus -10. And 3, -31 plus 31. All right, so go ahead and pause this video. Work these out using the rules. Remember, you have the rules right above. So if you were taking notes like you were supposed to, you should have these rules right there for you to help you. And then come back after you solve the problem. All right, so hopefully you have solved them and you are back to see if you got the correct answers. So, number 1, when I look at these, I see the absolute value of 2 is 2, and the absolute value of of -2 is 2, and the absolute value of 11 is 11. So I do 11 minus 2. That's going to give me 9, and 9 is my higher, 11 is my higher number, so I'm going to use a positive. Number 2, I have 9, and I'm adding -10. Okay, absolute value of 9 is 9. The absolute value of -10 is 10. So I'm going to do 10 minus 9. And that's going to give me 1. And then which number was bigger? The 10. So I'm going to use its sign. So it's -1. Okay. Last one. I have -31 plus +31. Remember that anytime you have a negative and a positive number that are the same and you add them, you always get 0. -8 plus 8. -10 plus 10. -4 plus 4. They all equal 0. So when you have a negative number that is the same as the positive number you're adding, it is 0. Okay? You shouldn't even have to think about those, really. All right, so next you're going to have a practice activity. So go ahead and work on that and see how you're doing with this.